Hey, good morning, everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of the Shineability Show. If you haven't been here before, my name is Robin Carberry, and I help Gen X women untangle the knot of midlife confusion, uncover what they're here to do, and unleash more flow, meaning, success, connection, and joy in their lives. So I apply my years of experience mentoring hundreds of folks on growth journeys. I ask questions and I do some deep listening, and I leverage my own journey as an OG Gen Xer to help my clients stop second guessing and backpedaling and instead start moving forward with full confidence that they are on the right track. So I work with a lot of amazing, smart women who set the bar for themselves really, really high. They call themselves perfectionists. They want everything they do or share to be perfect so their clients have the best experience possible. And while you want to help your clients at the highest level and for them to love what you do, holding back until the thing is perfect is a mistake on so many levels. So Brene Brown says that perfectionism is not about striving for excellence. Instead, you're telling yourself this, and this is a quote from her: "If I looked perfect, do it perfect, work perfect, and live perfect, I can avoid or minimize shame, blame, and judgment." As a recovering perfectionist myself, that hit home really hard. That in trying to make something perfect, it was really about my fears. Fear that somebody would say no or judge me. And then I would make any judgment that I received not about the thing itself, but about me. It would remind me that I was smaller, that I was less than, that I was unworthy, or I was a failure. So for a long time, instead of owning that fear of the judgment or the no, I embraced the idea of aiming for perfection. But that path leads nowhere because perfection just isn't possible. Because we're all human and beautifully individually imperfect. So no matter how hard you try, no matter how good you make something, it's not going to satisfy everyone. It's time to take the goal of making everyone happy off the table. So on today's episode of the Shineability Show, I talk about how to move past perfectionism and embrace the idea of personal growth instead. So first, it's time to put aside the idea of ever being perfect. Let's begin by ditching that old adage, practice makes perfect, and instead start saying, practice makes me better. And by practice, I mean the practice of putting yourself out there and collecting real-world information that can help you improve. So if you get a no, it's actually an opportunity for you to learn. It's not about you being a bad person or not worthwhile. It's an opportunity to learn. So instead of looking at the no as evidence of your worth, ask a follow-up question. What would it take for this to have been a no-brainer yes for you? Second, you get to decide whether somebody else's judgment is worth your attention or not. When you put yourself out there, you are simply collecting information and feedback. So separate that feedback from the emotion of the moment. It's not about what they thought about you. It's about the idea or the proposal or the concept or the offer that you shared. Ask yourself, 1, does what this person said, or does this person as an individual even matter to me? Second, will this feedback help me do better the next time? If the answer to either of those questions is no, then that feedback is not useful data to you. So put it aside and move on. Third, remember that if you haven't failed, you probably haven't tried. So all of the instant or overnight success stories that you see out there are actually the result of some hard work and the practice of trying, testing, and refining. So sometimes we need faith in ourselves that runs ahead of the evidence that's available to us. William James called it precursive faith. And when moving forward feels the scariest to you, it probably means that forward movement has the most meaning to you. So I'd like you to ask yourself when that fear comes up, what's the worst thing that can happen if I try? And this question is even more important, what will I lose if I don't try? So at the very least, when you don't try, you lose an opportunity to grow. But the people that you help also lose an opportunity to learn with you and from you, to grow themselves and to enrich their lives. So your Gen experiment for this week is to pick one thing that you haven't shared, pitched, or put out there because it isn't perfect yet. and just do it. Release it. Get it outside of your head and start collecting real data, feedback, and information that gives you the chance to truly grow. So that's it for this week. I hope you have a wonderful rest of the week, and I will see you next Wednesday. Bye.